My son called me for the first time in 6 years, and all he said was, "Dad won't wake up." I was 20 and reckless back then, running with a crew that flipped car parts off the back of trucks. I thought I was untouchable. Then my girlfriend Renee got pregnant, and for about a year we tried to make it work in a cramped apartment above a laundromat. One night I came home late, still buzzed, and she stood in the doorway and told me I'd ruin our son the same way my own father ruined me, that she'd rather raise him alone than watch me fail him. I didn't argue. I packed a bag that night and left for the oil fields in North Dakota, telling myself distance was a gift I was giving him. For 6 years I sent money home, anywhere from $400 to $1,000 a month, whatever I could scrape together after rent and gas. My Aunt Colleen lived 2 streets over from Renee and offered to be my eyes on the ground since Renee and I couldn't stand to speak to each other. Colleen would drop off groceries, check on my son, and set up a video call once a month so I could see his face. He always looked fed, always looked happy, always waved at the camera and called me Dad, like the word still meant something. I told myself that was enough. Then at 1:40 in the morning, my phone rang. It was my son's voice, 6 years old and cracking. "Dad won't wake up. He's on the floor and he's cold." I didn't understand. I didn't have a dad in that house unless Renee had someone new living there. I asked him where his mom was. "She's at work," he said. "The man's not moving." Then the call cut out. I called back. Nothing. I called Renee. Nothing. I called my aunt. Nothing. I got in my truck and drove 12 hours on adrenaline and gas station coffee, running every yellow light between the interstate exits. When I got there, the front door was cracked open. The smell hit me before I even stepped inside. Spoiled food, cigarette smoke, something sour underneath it all. I found my son curled up on the couch in a shirt too big for him, knees pulled to his chest, staring at a man sprawled on the kitchen floor, blue around the lips. I checked for a pulse, and there wasn't one. I called 911 with shaking hands and pulled my son into the other room so he wouldn't have to look anymore. While we waited for the ambulance, I noticed the bruises, not from a fall, fingerprint shaped on his upper arms, days old and fading to yellow. In the bedroom closet I found empty pill bottles with names I didn't recognize, and a stack of unopened certified letters from the school about absences. At the hospital, a nurse pulled me aside. "Your son is underweight for his age. There are signs consistent with physical neglect. We're required to contact child services." I told her to call them, that I wanted this documented, every bit of it. Renee showed up 4 hours later, mascara smeared, already talking before she was through the door. "That's my son. You don't get to just show up." A caseworker stepped between us and asked her who the man on the kitchen floor was. She said a friend. The caseworker asked why my son had bruising on his arms. She said he was clumsy. She turned on me next, saying I'd abandoned them for 6 years and only wanted attention now, that the money I sent was guilt money, a payoff to stay out of our lives. I felt the ground shift under me because, on paper, I did look like the man who left. That's when my aunt walked in, eyes red, unable to look at me. "I have to say something," she said. "I've been telling him everything was fine because you kept paying me to smooth things over," she said to Renee, voice breaking. Then she turned to me. "I saw the bruises last month. I saw the men coming and going. I told myself it wasn't my business, and I let you believe he was safe." Renee started screaming that Colleen was lying, but the caseworker was already writing, already reaching for her radio. I didn't speak to my aunt again after that night. It took 8 months of hearings, parenting classes, and a very patient lawyer, but I got full custody. My son sleeps down the hall from me now, and some nights he still checks that my door is open before he'll close his eyes.